Yeah, it is very
So
true.
we need to find.
My experience with, with working with working with the homeless, and my experience working with people who, like, they don't have nowhere to go, they lost their job, so they are out in the shelters, and from the shelter they won't even stay in the shelter that is given to them. Instead, they will rather want to be out there doing things that they are not supposed to be doing. I can tell you from my own personal experience over the years, as a supervisor, as a director of men's program, shelters, uh, women and children intervention centers that I've run, my experience has been not a good one. You just have to know this for a fact. So when we prayed that prayer and we said that God should deliver us from the God should deliver us from the how did we put it? God should deliver us from the cheap, the weak,
Yeah.
and the broke. It's a very important prayer that you need to pray.
It is.
People who come to you to ask you for help, you have to be very careful about them, because they will tell you that they have no family, they don't have families. Who tell you that they don't have family? You can train them all you want. If they die suddenly, their families will come out. Their families will all come out. And their families are the ones who are going to inherit everything about them. You won't. So you just have to be aware of these kind of things. They will tell you that I don't have my family abandoned. They will lie about their families. But when serious things happen, they go back to their families. When serious things happen, even if they've talked all the crazy stuff against their father, mother, brothers, sisters, you see them go back to them. Because blood is a very strong thing. Blood ties. The main word there is, yeah, continue.
Now, what I was about to say is that also that a lot of these people who come to you begging and crying and with these sob stories, you come to realize, even family members, you come to realize that you are going bending over backwards to help them. You're sacrificing things in your life in order to help them, and then you find out that they're holding on to what they have and trying to use you. They're in a better position than you.
Yep, that's true. That's true. They are. They are. So when we say
What do you
let's
think?
uh-huh.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
When we say, oh God, oh Lord God, our God, deliver us from the weak. We are not talking about people who are sick. We are not talking about people who have mental issues, people who are disabled, they can't help themselves, they rely on government, on charity, and on families. Because in civilized countries, there are places for no matter what happened to you, there are places for you to get help. Those are not the people that we are talking about when we say the weak. What we mean is this. Let me make it very clear to you. If your enemies want to get you, they are going to use the weak around you to do the job. People that can easily be bought. Those are the people we call the weak. People who have no belief system. Even if they have a belief system, they believe that everything is for gain, everything is for profit, including betraying people to go and be killed. In your job, there are people in your job who will protect your interests, never reveal your secret, protect your personal stuff. But anybody in your job who is among those who qualify as the weak will be laughing at your face and putting the dagger on you behind your back. The weak. You hear of a lot of leaders of the world. They will call some of their secretaries or ministers. What I mean by ministers are government ministers who are with the opposition party. You see leaders of nations calling them weak, that they are weak. Why are they weak? They are afraid. They are betrayers. They possibly are envious of the position of the leader. They do not like to see you succeed. Instead of coming to help you succeed, because they themselves cannot go into that position. They don't have what it takes. They don't have the money, nor the gut, nor the ability to negotiate for people, to bring people together. They don't have it. Their education is of no use to them. So they become jealous, envious, angry, irritable. And you employ such people because they are weak. They will betray you. They will sell you. Those are the people we call the weak kind of people. You don't need them around you. You don't need them at your job. You don't need them as your staff. Oh Lord, deliver us from the cheap, the weak, and the broke. Weak people will be members of your military, and they will sell your military strategies and logistics to the enemies. That's what we are talking about. Those are the weak people. They come and attend a meeting with you, and the secret of how the business is going to be done, how money will be made, how this will be done. Everybody is asked to play their role, and they will refuse to play their role because they want that thing to fail. Those are the weak people that must be thrown out. They are the weed. W-E-E-D. They are the weed among the plants that need to be cut off. Don't tolerate weak people around you. You don't need them. You don't need the weak in your life or in your business. You'll see people like Rosalind and Victoria were saying. You see people who cannot even help themselves. I watch people as they want to give you order. They will tell you how things are supposed to be done. Then you tell them, can you do it? You come back. The next 1 year, it has never been done. They are good at giving you orders how things can be done. You ask them to do that same thing. They cannot do it. Those are weak people. And you don't need them. They talk a lot. One of the ways for you to know weak people is they talk a lot and act very little. They love to eat a lot and drink a lot and sex a lot and spend money a lot. That's how you know them. And they will betray anybody for a nickel and a dime. Those are who we call the weak. And then the cheap are those who do not even want to aspire to anything. They are willing to live below where people should be. They love the ghetto. That's what they've chosen. They love the cheap side of life. Going to the top, they are afraid of it. It's too mighty for them. Even if you bring them out to give them wonderful things, if you give them wonderful things for them to use, like gold, nice jewelry, they are going to pawn it at the pawn shop. You give them money to go and do business or to go and put in their savings or in their checking account, they go quickly and go and do drugs with it. And go and find a hooker, a male or female hooker to go and sleep with. because now they feel like they are kings and queens of the little money they've seen. Cheap people are known by spending little money they have. Big money come to them, they squander it. There will be party every day. I know a woman in Florida. She has, I think, 6 or 8 kids. From, I don't know how many fathers. There are different fathers. Including the nephews and the cousins. All of them have slept with her. And she slept with everybody else. I'm not saying she's a bad woman. Life happens. But I wonder how incest also is happening. That's what I'm wondering too. So some people don't have it all. This woman will be collecting money. Child support will be rolling in at the end of the month. Child support is coming from everywhere. That woman make more money, twice than a normal person that has a real good job. 6,000-7,000 will roll in. She has put each of those children too on what we call crazy check. You know what crazy check means? What is crazy check?
A crazy check is like when you go like to the government and put your child, or like they have a problem with learning. It's kind of like a disability.
Yeah. She's put all the children on mental issue, whether minor or major. She's put them all, and the kids have no problem, but she's put all of them on crazy check. They are receiving crazy checks too. So you can imagine that woman is making about 15,000 a month.
You get money for them.
Yes, she's getting money for each of them. And then she's also getting food stamp with cash. Think about that. And then she's going to food pantries in the city to get food and to get household stuff. So tell me how such a person can ever be broke in the United States. Within 1 week of getting all that money and all that food, they are knocking at the doors of people, asking for money, asking for food. Can you believe that? Why? Because immediately that money comes in, the whole of that street is shut down. From the 30th to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of the next month, a party is happening in her house every day. Morning, afternoon, night. Men and women are coming in and out. People are going with plates of food, beer bottles in their hands. Weed is in the air. Crack is everywhere. Meth, drugs, sex. By the time they reach 5th, 6th, 7th day of the month, of the next month, that money is all gone. The money is all gone. She's pawned everything in her life, except it remains. I'm watching to see when she's gonna start pawning the children in the pawn shop. That's the next thing that I'm watching to see. See, those are the cheap, weak. Those kids have no good clothes. And then you can make up the broke. A cheap person has money, but is afraid to, even when they go to go and buy you something, they go and buy you a $1 cologne. That's how cheap they are. $1 necklace that when you put it on, by the time you try to put it around your neck, it has broken. They never buy something that is gonna last. They are always going to buy cars, motorbikes, motorcycle, bicycles that they will fix. They never buy anything that is really ready-made, that you just enter, put the key, turn it on, and drive and go, or ride and go. They always buy something that they think that they can repay. They never repay it. Next year, they collect their tax return, they buy the same junk, and they try. So how many? By the time you know it, that street is filled with 4 or 5 vehicles that cannot be put to use. Cheap people, you can always talk them into buying what will never work. That's how you know. That's how you know. And even if you have, even if you try to do good to them, they are neighbors. They don't understand good. They don't understand perfect. They don't understand the best. It's foreign to them. It's very foreign to them. So I'm glad that we are having this conversation about God delivering us from the weak and the cheap. Let me give you something here for you to think about. I would rather that if you fly a lot like I do, always fly with Southwest Airline is good, or they've been told to remove some of their planes from the air and to buy new ones, because some of their planes are older, but their services are good. I've never had any problem flying with them. Southwest is good. They are disciplined in their routine, and they will take you to where you are going to on time. I've never stayed more than 1 hour in a connecting flight with Southwest Airline. Sometimes while you are touching down, they are calling out the next flight. Next, Delta. They're on time. They do business with Air France and KLM, which is my favorite airline, is KLM, the one from Holland. So they do business with them. And all their planes, I think most of their planes or all of them are Airbus. They are European planes. Very nice. They are very, very put together as a good business outfit. United is okay. They are good. They are good people. I've flown with them. I've enjoyed flight with them. The friendly skies. They are good. They are really good. American Airlines, they are everywhere in the world, so you can trust them. Allegiant is good. It's a vacation airline. I like them. It's a vacation airline. I like them. Hello? You better. All right. So, Allegiant is vacation one. I don't really know much about Spirit and JetBlue. I've never flown in them, so I don't know about them. So I cannot talk about them. But there are certain airlines that you should never fly with them because they are cheap. They are rude. They are weak, cheap, and broke. And that is Frontier Airlines. Never fly with them. Do not ever fly with Frontier Airlines. If anything happened, they will never put you in a hotel. It's very rare. They have some of the worst staff, some of the worst air hostess. They have some of the worst of them. Never fly. No matter how cheap. They are cheap. Their prices are cheap, but don't fly with them. When you see certain airline, the rate they are giving you is very cheap, think twice. That's the way I look at it. You need something that is quality, that is comfortable, that is dependable. Frontier has been in and out of business. I don't like them at all. I don't. I've had bad experiences with them flying from Wichita to Utah so many years ago, as back as 2005, 6, 7. And I experienced the worst pilots, the worst of everything, and they've never changed. So always avoid those airlines that has old planes. You can Google and see what planes you'll be flying with, how old it is. All those things. Flying requires a lot of details. Cheap. Don't go for those cheap, including cheap stores. Majority of what a lot of stores sells are junk. You bring that shit, you wash it. If you give it to the laundryman cannot even handle it. You put it in the washer, dryer, that thing is gone. There are shoes you buy, they are cheap, they look, the best people try to talk you into them. You wear it and go out, you discover that the sole has fallen off. So you are coming back home barefoot. Get quality. Get quality. Save money and get quality. Don't be cheap. If you find businesses that are cutting corners, all of that, avoid them. They are no good. They are bad businesses. Because they will put your life at risk. Those are the cheap and the broke. A broke person can never help you. A cheap person can never help you. This group, the weak, the cheap, and the broke, from the way we've explained it to you, so that nobody goes out there and say, oh, Idika Imeri are praying that they don't like weak people, they don't like cheap people, they don't like poor people. That's not what we are talking about. Because people will just take the sentence and not listen to the content. There are a lot of people who have not been able to achieve anything for their own lives. And those are people who want to come and preach to you, to come and talk to you, to come and lead you, to come and control your life. And take from you what you got. Weak, cheap, and broke. You don't need that. One of the ways politicians win election, and a lot of businesses are in business. A lot of political group and religious group stays in business. They prey on the weak, on the cheap, and on the broke. That's the way they stay in business. That's the way they get elected into office or offices. They don't want you to read for yourself. They don't want you to make up your own mind. Cheap, broke, and weak people do not read. They don't read for themselves. If they ever read, they read what they are told to read. And it is interpreted for them the way that those who are using them, manipulating them, want them to understand it. Oh, you did not really see it. That's not really what I meant. Yes, it's exactly what you meant. And that's how a lot of political groups have been able to stay in power, is by preying on the weak, the cheap, and the broke. They know where people went to real colleges for learning, not just for education, for real learning. You can't manipulate them unless those who came into education as broke, cheap, weak. And what kind of degree do you think they are going to get? They are going to get a broke, cheap, weak degrees. So if you call them, you give them a little piece of job to do, yes sir, and they will do any bad thing to climb for ambition. Why? Because they've never had it. That's why sometimes it's dangerous to give money to somebody who has never seen a lot of money. Because they'll kill themselves sometimes. They'll destroy themselves and destroy people. You give a car to somebody who they don't really knows that car is just natural. It's something to take you from A to B. Sometimes it shows class. They are so happy. They go and get drunk and go and hit people and die on the spot and kill other people. And make noise everywhere. Without the cheap, the broke, and the weak, a lot of politicians will never be in politics. They will never be in Washington. A lot of pastors will never be in business. A lot of businesses will never be. Somebody told me something about a store, and I walked into that store, and I picked some of the pork they have there. It's almost rotten. And the sheep goes there to go and buy. The bread looks like something that was picked from a trash can. Because sometimes I see people in trash cans as I'm passing through streets in different parts of the United States. And they are bringing out things. And I turn one time to look at what they are doing. It's just disgusting. You see the bread they are selling in some of the stores. The food, how cheap it is. It will kill you. It will destroy you. You don't need such people around you. So that should be your prayer, that God should deliver you from the cheap, the weak, and the broke. A broke person will never help you. A broke person is not going to put you at the top.